Good evening and good afternoon, everyone. So we are back on the Africa Matters Initiative webinar series, having the very first one for the year of 2023. And today we'll be talking all things AMAP and SHE is Empowered program applications. And so this is basically an information session where we have members of the Africa Matters team, as well as former participants of the different programs. So we are looking forward to hearing what they have to share with us today. And also excited to be again bringing back the webinar series to our back to AMI. And if you ever have any topic that you think you'd like us to talk about within our webinar series, do not hesitate to contact us. And if you know an incredible speaker who would be keen to also speak on that topic, do not hesitate to let us know as we leverage technology to spark dialogue. And today we have Kedibone, Shuping, and Kubepo, Khulekani, Saul, who will be chatting to us all things AMAP and SHE is Empowered programs. I'll hand it over to our today's speakers. Please ensure that if you are joining us from Zoom, please ensure that your mics are muted, as we just want to ensure that the speakers have an opportunity to speak. Towards the end of the session, there will be a Q&A where you're most welcome to ask any questions you'd like to ask, and they will be able to answer. If you're joining us from Facebook, please feel free to also ask us questions. Your questions will be shared within, will be shared to the speakers, and they'll also be able to respond to those questions. And we ask you nicely to share the live with your different networks, Facebook, WhatsApp, wherever you can, as this is an opportunity for future applicants and future participants of the Africa Matters Ambassadors Program, as well as the SHE is Empowered program, to get a bit more information about what these programs are and what they could possibly gain from these programs. And what is the most important thing also is that we have past participants, so they have lived experience of what the program has done for them and what they've achieved from having participated in the programs. And so let me not even waste your time and just hand it over to the team and the speakers for today.
Hello, everyone. Good evening. My name is Kedibone Shuping, and I am an Africa Matters Ambassadors Program Assistant. I am a humanities graduate from South Africa, and I hold a Bachelor of Arts honors with specialization in political science and a Bachelor of Arts in governance and political transformation. I'm an advocate for good governance, and my field of expertise include political science, communication science, and public administration. So in today's session, we'll be discussing the leadership programs that exist within the organization, which is the SHE is Empowered program and the Africa Matters Ambassadors program. And they have been very transformational components of the organization, which really sort of integrates with the organization's vision, which is to change the narrative of Africa. I will hand over the meeting to my colleague, Saul.
Hi everyone, my name is Kubepo Khulekani Saul. I am a young woman from Botswana, and I hold a bachelor's degree in information and knowledge management with a major in knowledge management from the University of Botswana, and a leadership certificate from Africa Matters Initiative. I am passionate about all things youth empowerment and making change. I am currently the interim program lead for the SHE is Empowered program. Like Kedibone has said, today we'll be talking all things AMAP and SHE is Empowered applications. So I'll take you through the SHE is Empowered program. We all know that African women are vulnerable to systematic inequalities and with the barriers that are placed upon them. And them not being included in decision making and the stance of development which inhabits them to not be effective leaders in their communities and beyond. As the She is Empowered program, we strive to break through the barriers that are set before women. So this is a 1-year non-residential online development program for 20 young African women and girls. It focuses on leadership, it focuses on soft skills development, it focuses on social entrepreneurship, African feminism, personal development, and mentorship. From the She is Empowered program, we strive to educate and to upskill our she leaders with the skills they need, the tools they need to become better leaders and to positively influence their communities and beyond. At the end of the program, our leaders emerge with a certificate, a leadership certificate from Africa Matters Initiative. They emerge with a strong network of African women and leaders. They emerge with mentors. They emerge with newly acquired skills and an implemented community engagement project in their communities. I will give to Gidi to talk about the Africa Matters Ambassadors Program. But before I do that, on the screen, we have a testimonial from our current participant, Anik Uwera from Rwanda. My experience in the She is Empowered has been amazing. I got to meet other brilliant she leaders, different facilitators that shared a lot of insights, enriching modules, and finally implementing my community project. I have learned a lot of things, and most importantly, in how to grow as a person and an African, and also how to give back to my community. With that, it shows that a lot of young women and girls are really benefiting from this program. Like you have just read the testimonial from our participant, Anik. Gidi?
Thank you very much, Kubepo. So I am an assistant from the African Matters Universities program. And what this program is about, similar to the She is Empowered program, same structure, same module content, we pretty much do the same thing. But with Africa Matters Ambassadors program, the Africa Matters Ambassadors program was coined due to the fact that the African youth have been described as an economic burden. Has been described as an economic burden with deep-rooted problems and of unemployment, poor educational systems, and insufficient skills development opportunities, leaving them very much underrepresented and marginalized in the society. So what AMAP does is it serves to transform Africa's youth movement into an economic opportunity by providing a 1-year non-residential online development program for 20 young Africans, which will be focused on improving leadership, skills development, social entrepreneurship, advocacy, African feminism, and mentorship. So now with AMAP is a leadership program, and I think we should stress the fact that with lack of good governance, with lack of leadership, this is why African youth has been described as an economic burden. And what we should start off is to kind of like go through and highlight what is African leadership and why is it even important. So leadership is it's insignificant because it inspires, it motivates, and it sets an example for people to accomplish positive change in the world. And now change does not happen naturally. So if it really did happen, I don't think would need leaders, hence the Africa Matters Ambassadors program. So without dwelling too much, on the political aspect of African leadership, but I just want to kind of like run down on why some of these African youth are pretty much marginalized in society. So the thing is with Africa has seen many leadership styles over the course of history. And now it also has seen like the season of darkness in African leadership, and this can really be attributed to maybe the period of to the kingdoms, to the dictatorship, to democrats, and the perpetuating view. So in African political systems, there's this tendency for power that it actually consumes leaders, and it is really, really natural, and that is why these young ones are really marginalized in society. I'm sure that, we have been aware of all the African leaders who decided on serving for 3 terms in the presidency. We know of leaders who are, currently contemplating 2nd and 3rd term presidency. We also know of, that there is no upper age limit in African politics. And now these politicians who have been in politics for decades, are still refusing to give way to the younger generation. And that's us, and that's the AMAP ambassadors that we're trying to recruit. So we can see that political power, greed, and money are really the enemies of African political system. And we could also see that even in the African communities, right, they are so degenerated by corrupt fruit of ineffective leadership and selfish political parties. So now millions and millions of people are really deprived of this affability of life. So now, why a program like AMAP, or SHE? This is because the program offers online leadership skills, development training, and this provides them with tangible and applicable skills, transfer and build relationships with African change makers. These online programs, we actually have bi-weekly sessions that we hold for the 2 programs. So now these programs expand the knowledge and competencies actually for these ambassadors to improve their productivity, employment, leadership, and all that in their professional and personal lives. This program also provides mentorship to young leaders to reach their full potential, professionally and personally. This is because the mentorship program provides all the young leaders with the opportunity to develop and become more competent in their roles, because we have ambassadors that are fully time employed, and also have ambassadors that are students or recent graduates. So now this program assists them to kind of like define their goals and establish, action plans to reach professional goals. So this program also, allows the ambassadors to have the ability to lead in situations where they have no formal authority. It also enhances their ability to lead beyond authority. And that's where the community engagement programs come in. So with the CEPs, that community work is not easy, but it's important work. And kudos to all those people that are making changes in their communities. So with the community engagement component, we provide a broader impact that will benefit hundreds of community members across the sub-Saharan. And what we also try, to emphasize, and what we aim to achieve, is to really empower the new generations of African leaders who will promote best practices to empower, sort of empower in the sense that, these practices can come in handy in terms of the economic and social development in their communities, organizations where you work, or even your countries or respective countries. So AMAP and the SHE, they're very much committed to the development of Africa. And now we also want to also develop responsible and decisive decision makers that will have a positive impact on the world. I want to share a testimonial from one of the AMAP ambassadors of 2022, who is Hayete. I will say I have the privilege that I'm actually a group lead for her CEP engagement, Hayete Sultana Belikan from Nigeria. So this is what she had to say about the program so far. I can describe my experience in the program as an individual one. I've never thought that the program would be that much orientated, empowering, and well structured to improve other lives. So this is what some of the ambassadors have to say, and we work closely with them on, obviously on a daily basis, but on a weekly basis. Okay. So the next segment is, why should you become an ambassador or a SHE? From a perspective of an AMAP assistant and having to work with ambassadors for this long time that I've worked with them, I would definitely say being an ambassador, because you are a change maker, not only for yourself, not only for your country, but also for the community at large and others that you influence. You are a changer in your household. So being an AMAP ambassador, especially when it comes to the bi-weekly sessions, we have these very fruitful module sessions that we run. I want to make an example of a module called African Identities. So with this module, as an assistant and not an ambassador, I got the opportunity to sort of learn a lot about African identities. And why I say I got the opportunity to learn about African, because I feel like we are so driven by stereotypes that we don't know other cultures, other identities beyond what you know. So during that session, not only was it catered for ambassadors, but as an AMAP assistant, preparing for the sessions with my colleagues, trying to send through the invitations for these ambassadors, curating the content, I got to see that what I experience on a daily basis, is not necessarily what other people experience, because I come from different backgrounds, religious backgrounds, financial, social, economic. So I got the opportunity to, so being part of this program, you will be able to learn a lot about other people that are beyond the horizon, beyond other regions. So being part of this program also allows you to really engage, with people that don't speak the same language that you speak. So there's a bit of a language barrier for some, I'm also proficient in English, it's really neutral, but it's a learning curve because we learn from each other, and it's so respectful, and we have boundaries and limitations for how we address one another. So I would give the baton to Kubepo, my colleague, because she is empowered assistant and also a past participant for the She is Empowered program.
Thank you so much, Kedibone. So why you should become a SHE leader? From my perspective as a past participant, it would be that joining this program last year made me realize a lot of things that I did not know then. Like from the modules, the carefully planned modules that are within the program, to me having to interact with people. Naturally, I am one person who does not like to interact, but joining this program opened me up to networking, and it forced me to interact, which is a good thing for me. The other point would be that the CEP that I implemented last year is still going strong. With the skills that I gained from this program, I'm still utilizing those skills to run the organization that I started from the CEP that I implemented last year. The networking skills that I gained from there are very useful to me right now, because I get to network more here to try get funding, get to network more to promote and market the CEP that is this side. I also got to meet a lot of powerful and incredible women across Africa who I'm still in contact with. And I would love to say they are my friends now, more like sisters. We get to chat, we get to network, we get to talk about our CEPs. And at the moment, I am currently working with 2 of last year's participants. We are trying to merge our projects to see how best the projects can benefit the community. So because I keep talking about my CEP, let me just talk about it a little bit more, explain what I did. So last year, my CEP was to raise more awareness on gender-based violence here in Botswana. So from that, after I got my certificate, I continued with my CEP and eventually registered it into an organization that we called Cherish Them Society. Cherish Them Society meaning that we cherish everybody regardless of their gender, regardless of their age, culture, background, and everything. We want to raise awareness, educate more people on gender-based violence, regardless of where they come from, regardless of their status and everything. So the first program for the CEP, as I was running it, before it was registered into an organization, it was called #GBV Free Botswana. So like I said, I am currently working with 2 participants. I am currently working with Leona Miniotabo, who is from South Africa. Her project is educating people about period poverty. So we're trying to see how best we can implement that with #GBV Free Botswana. There is also Maitumelo Radipudi, who's also a friend of mine here from Botswana. Her project was trying to get more girls involved in STEM. So we're trying to figure out how we can merge those 3 projects into one and continue helping our communities. So what it means to be a SHE leader, from what I have learned, is that you get to be a leader. The skills that you get, for now, I am the founder and the chairperson of Cherish Them Society. So the skills that I got from the She is Empowered program enable me to be able to lead this organization with confidence and with the utmost care and skills that I can. I'm leading a team of 6 people who are currently helping me. It means that I get to benefit my community, which is what the She is Empowered program is all about. We are trying to upskill people so that they also help and benefit their communities more. So back to what we were talking about, why you should apply to be a She is Empowered participant and an Africa Matters Ambassadors participant. You will have the opportunity to develop into a young leader in an Afrocentric environment that nurtures your personal and professional well-being. You will also be able to make tangible difference in your community and learn how to create sustainable community-based projects that will continue to drive forward social change post the program. Even after the program, you are able to carry out your community engagement projects. You will also connect with like-minded young Africans from across the continent and exchange knowledge, experiences, and opportunities.
So now we will,
sorry, go ahead.
Okay, so now we will tackle the application process for the AMAP and the She is Empowered application. So we are going to go through 5 easy tips on how to submit a successful application. So now the first thing is there's a welcome page, and it clearly outlines what to expect in the applications. And it also highlights the critical information about the program and their applicants. So now the application has 5 sections, and we really urge all of the applicants to really carefully read the instructions to ensure that the questions are answered correctly and that they submit a strong application. That's the first tip. Then the second tip is to read the program specification, the further ask questions. So now, after reading the instructions to the application, please make sure that you read the frequently asked questions section on the programs page, because you'll find answers that are related to anything AMAP and education program, and the program structure, the timelines of the program, benefits of becoming a program participant. So if you want to know more about these program specifications, please visit our website for further information, which is www.humanities.com/she or the /AMAP. And then the third tip is to see if you meet the requirements. I know that with most applications, the requirements would be an overachievement of 65 for their studies. We don't necessarily want that for this program. We don't really care about, accolades, how much you got, throughout high school. We just want your leadership skills. We just want you to really want to know what you can bring, as a change maker. So for the AMAP and the SHE's empowered, eligibility requirements are very specific to the respective programs. So you should ensure that you meet the requirements of the program you're applying for, because failure to do so, it will result in the disqualification of the application. And then the fourth tip is submit requirements. So the applications, they're mostly short paragraph style questions. You submit your updated CV and you also upload a short video in order to submit the successful. So the video is just for you to be yourself, want to know about you, what you bring to the program, why you apply for the program, and why you feel like, you want to make a change in your community. And ensure that you take your time and answer all the short paragraph style questions in full. And to make sure that your CV obviously updated, it's legible and English. So the program also is hosted in English, so you must be fluent in English. And for your video, please upload it on to a video hosting service that the AMI team can access to it. If it's Vimeo, please provide the password so that we don't struggle when we have to review the video. And applications do not be considered without this submission. And the fifth tip to the submission, the applications, it's really be yourself. You allow the applications just to get the true sense of who you are, what drives you, what your goals are. We want you to be very intentional and honest when sharing why you're interested in the program and really what sets you apart from others. Hence, I'm saying you don't really look into your academic records. We want to see why are you unique, what sets you apart from others, and also bring out the most authentic self and let it shine through. So the next segment, I would like to thank the time that all of you, so you didn't get the part of it. Okay, so.
Hi everyone, so there's a question. I didn't get the part of the video. How did you say we should upload it in tip 4? So can we just go back to tip number 4, where we just better explain how to upload the video?
Okay, so the video, you should upload the video on a hosting service. It's either a YouTube video or Google Drive or Vimeo. So mostly Vimeo requires a password, so you will have to share the password in order for us to locate. Okay, so there is actually a portal where you set up the videos, but those are 3 options normally we use for applications. I hope I answered the question.
Yes, I think you did. And I think just to add also, if you're going to use something like Google Drive to submit the video, right? Just to save everyone a bit of time, and this is not just for AMAP application or She's Empowered application, but this is just applications in general, is just to make sure that if you're going to share a link or anything like that, if you're uploading to Google Drive, say that allow access that to anyone who has the link or anyone who has the video, they can share. Because sometimes, because there's so many applications, if you lock your video, it becomes so challenging for us to access it. Maybe you don't see the video on time. You don't see our email on time requesting access to the video. This can hinder your application process. So we really try to ask you to enable the settings that your video is viewed or can be viewed by anyone who has access to the video. And then we have, so I guess we automatically moving into Q&A because there is a lot of questions in the chat. So we'll just move to Q&A. So we have a question that says, when applying, I learned that it blocks me from applying. My date of birth is November 28th, 1993. So I'm still 28 as of now and will be on 29th by the end of the year, but still I'm unable to apply. So I think the reason behind this, I think you can email us, but I'd like to think that the reason behind this is that by the time the program starts, you won't be eligible, but please do email us and we'll try to fix it up and see if it's a tech issue on our side or if there's another tech issue. Apologies for that. We'll try to resolve that. Please do email us. Can you upload the video on YouTube? Because I uploaded on YouTube and shared the link. Definitely. Just make sure that we are able to see the link and that it is not private in any way. Kubepo, I think you had something to share before we started asking questions.
Yes, I did. Thank you very much. But before I share that, I would love to share the age range for Africa, for the She Is Empowered program and the countries from which we're receiving applications from for the 2023 cohort. So for the She Is Empowered 2023 cohort, we want young women and girls between the ages of 15 and 29 from Botswana, South Africa, Kenya, Zimbabwe, Sierra Leone, Egypt, Tanzania, Tunisia, Ghana, and Malawi. Can you please list the countries for AMAP?
Okay, so for the AMAP program, we want applicants aged 17 to 29, and countries from Tanzania, Kenya, Egypt, Algeria, Tunisia, Zambia, Botswana, Sierra Leone, South Africa, Ghana, Nigeria, Tanzania, and Zimbabwe.
Awesome. Thank you guys for tuning in. And if you don't see yourself as a leader yet, don't worry, we've got you. Once you've gone through the program, you will have a better understanding of leadership because after all, this is a leadership development program. Thank you so much for tuning in today. If there are any more questions.
All right, there is still quite a lot of questions actually. The one question is asking, so why not my country? So you've obviously listed the different countries that are eligible for application this year, but now everyone gets to ask, why is my country not selected or part of the selected countries? I don't know if you guys have an answer for that, because that is a question that it's coming up in social media platforms. It's coming up right now. So I don't know if you guys can shed a bit of light in that, yeah, for that question.
So the issue of the countries is that on a yearly basis, we choose specific countries that we want to expand or extend our reach to. So it's unfortunate that this year your country is not, we're not accepting applicants from your country. Probably next year maybe would include other countries, because it's just a matter of trying to really expand our reach in different African countries.
And you are most definitely free to nominate your country for the next cohort, if you please. Any other questions?
I think there's a question in the chat. They're asking the email address. So if you're applying for the She Is Empowered program, you email your inquiries to she@africanmattersinitiative.com, sorry. And then for Africa Matters Investors Forum, it's amap@africanmattersinitiative.com. We'll answer all your questions.
All right, thank you so much for that one. We have another question, and the question reads, is the program a self-paced online program? How do the modules work? Anyone from the AMAP team or the She's Empowered team can answer. I know that we also have other members within the call who are most welcome to answer should they wish to.
So the programs are online. They happen bi-weekly. It is an online non-residential program for both AMAP and SHE. So the programs happen bi-weekly for 2 hours. We have 14 modules, if not 13. Correct me if I'm wrong, Kedibone. That happen
Actually,
during the course of the year. You were saying, Kidi?
it's actually 15 modules.
Yes, we have 15 modules that happen throughout the course of the year bi-weekly.
Hi there, everyone. I just want to also come in here to share that it is not a self-paced program, but rather you follow a schedule for the duration of the program. So according to the program, it will kind of dictate the number of sessions and when the sessions take place, and then the subsequent assignments that would be due. So it is part self-paced in between sessions, but it is structured in a way that there are specific sessions and then you have your assignments that would be due sometime thereafter. So it is kind of a mix of both, but there is structure in it, and then in between sessions, there would be various time for you to work on assignments and all of the other various aspects of the program. I hope that that clarifies that, but slightly.
Thank you so much, everyone, for sharing. So the question also is, for the Zoom meetings, do you send data or do people use their own Wi-Fi and stuff, own data and whatnot?
Thank you for the question. Actually, we do offer the ambassadors data to attend the bi-weekly sessions and also with assignments and the assignments. So obviously, for the first maybe week or two, you use your data, but once you are onboarded to the program, that's when we'll be collecting the details in order to send the data to you.
All right. All right. Okay. So it has been answered that we do offer data to all the participants. And I think just in general, the programs allow you. So there's also been a question of who applies where. So there is the frequently asked questions as well as the requirements. Please read those thoroughly. And I think something that we did not mention here is one of the most important things about the application is to actually submit your application. Submit it, finish it off and submit it, because sometimes we have people who they were almost there. They just needed to submit one thing and the application would have been done and they submitted on time, but they do not do that. And please do not let self-doubt take you in terms of applying. Yes, there's a lot of people applying. There's a lot of young Africans applying to the programs, but you never know, your applications could really hit us by surprise, and we really love it, and we pick you for the program, but also because we have so many other programs within the organization. Some are still coming, some are still to be created, and we always open up applications to, yes, certain countries, but we do share with former participants or former applicants. So please do not cite yourself and say, perhaps I don't qualify, especially when it comes to seeing yourself as a leader. Kubepo mentioned this and said, if you don't see yourself as a leader, trust me, post-program, you will see yourself as a leader, because this is a leadership development program. We are a youth development, initiative and organization where we trust that as a young person across all sectors of society, whether you're into agriculture, whether you're into fashion, arts, whatever it is that you're into, you are a capable leader, you are capable of being a change maker within your communities. And so hence we create these programs, and hence we open it to young people to apply, because this is a platform and a space for young people to thrive and to engage with other young people. So essentially what I'm saying with this is, do not self-doubt and say, oh, you know, I'm not doing so well at school, so how can I be? If you see yourself as someone who wants to create change within your community, this is definitely the program for you. Again, just go to our website, follow the process, read the application thoroughly. For the countries that are not selected, there's only 20 spots for each program. And in order for us to effectively give the program, we choose selected countries. Kubepo mentioned, as the years go by, we would love, you know, at a time to offer it to all 54 African countries at a time, but it is almost not possible, because then we'd have to give it to 54 spots at least, so that there's one person per country representing. But unfortunately, we only have capacity for 20 at a time. So it means over the years, we've reached different countries. So for all you know, next year could be your country, or another project that we have could be listed in your countries. So I don't know if I've covered just a bit there. I'd like for the team to share a bit more also if there is. And yeah.
So another vital information that I think should be said is that the program's difference is that the SHE is empowered outcomes, you know, are more complex and part of empowerment and upscaling to address the key gap in gendered leadership and the position of women in society, whereas AMAP, you know, addresses both youth leadership development and basically capitalize on the whole African youth population, you know, the ability to lead and affect change and development on the continent.
All right, I just wanted to know if, so there isn't any more questions on the chat or on our different social media platforms. I just wanted to know if the Africa Matters team members have any last remarks regarding the application process. And then thereafter, we can wrap up and thank everyone for joining.
From me, I would just like to say good luck to all the applicants. Like Alu has said, please do not forget to complete your applications. All the best.
And on my end, application closes on the 6th of November. So if you have started the application, please continue. If you haven't started, start today and really be yourself. We really want to get to know more of these African leaders. We want you, you know, to impact the communities. We want to be part. We want to provide you with those resources. So yeah, thank you very much.
And then just from my side, on behalf of the AMAP team and, you know, the broader team at large, you know, across both programs, I'd like to say thank you so much for your earnest interest in both of the programs. I think that it does show the need and desire of young people to actually want to create effective change within their communities and be the leaders that they so actually are. Like, I mean, like to actually develop the core leaders that you have within yourself. So I would like to thank you for your earnest interest in these programs, and please, like it has been reiterated throughout the session, please do apply. I'm like, you know, I'll make sure that you submit all of your required documents and that you submit a completed application, so that, you know, you have the best chances of success of being the selected 20 within each respective program. That is all from my side. Over to you, Alu.
All right, thank you so much again, everyone. Thank you to the Africa Matters team for actually hosting this webinar and sharing information. Thank you to everyone who attended. You were giving us questions left, right, and center, and we hope that the webinar has been helpful in you know, just for those who were not sure if they want to apply, and hopefully the webinar helped you decide that you can apply. For those who are in the process and decided, you know what, I'm just going to continue, we wish you all the best, and we wish everyone who's applying, all the best. We look forward to learning more about you and engaging with you through your applications. And also, if your country isn't in part of the country selected for this year, please do share the application within your networks. There might be someone from the selected countries who's interested. And also, as someone mentioned on the call, that please do, you can nominate your country for the next cohort, because next year we'll still be live. Hopefully we can have maybe 2 cohorts at a time and then have 4, 5, 10, 20 countries at a time. But that is a conversation for another day. Thank you again so much for everyone, for your time, for joining us. And as I mentioned, we'll look forward to learning, to getting to know you through the applications. Thank you so much and enjoy your evening. Have a lovely evening, everyone. Thank you.
Wait.
Yes, Tuto?
There seems to be like a confusion in the chats about scholarships. And I think the person is asking like if AMI gives scholarships to schools and like totally AMAP and SHE related. So can we just answer that?
All right. Sorry, I missed that. So we do not offer scholarships whatsoever, right? We do not have the capacity to offer scholarships, but we do share some scholarships that may be relevant to the people who follow us on social media platforms. And then I don't know if you're referring to support with your community engagement program. What we do is we offer seed funding for the community impact project so that you are able to start your community impact projects. This is for the ambassadors who are selected for the program. So we do not offer scholarships or bursaries, as we do not offer any of those. I hope that answers your question. And we do not offer financial aid either.
Thank you, Alu.
All right. Thank you so much, everyone, and have a lovely evening further.